Offensive for me to say that women should have the same rights as black people.
Yep, it is.
It's offensive for me to say that all humans should have the same rights as everyone. That we should
That's
all
not
have the
what
same
you
rights.
said. There's a difference between everyone
Literally
and black
right
people.
now I'm saying everyone, I don't give sorry what your skin color is, what's between your legs. I don't care about any of that.
Yeah.
I want everyone to be able to make the decisions they want for themselves and have the same rights. I don't want you to have any less rights than me. I don't want this guy to have any less rights than me or more. Everyone should be even.
Okay.
That's fucked up for me to say.
Okay, good.
Could I just ask what's
All right, welcome back to the show. And guys, I got an absolute banger for you here today. And it comes from a different portion of the internet, from the Dr. Daff Show. We've covered content from their platform before in the past.
I just have a very different viewpoint on what womanhood encapsulates, like in terms of like everything.
Sure.
I think it's I just don't think it's right to like make snap judgments like that about a situation that maybe you don't know like what my experience in womanhood is. Like, just like maybe I don't know what yours is. I just feel that snap of like making womanhood depend on biology just feels wrong to me.
Stop mansplaining. For today's conversation, we're going to do feminists versus anti-feminists, and the conversation goes left when race is brought into it. And even if you just look at the panelists down here, first off, could you identify who is the feminist and who is the anti-feminist just by looking at them? I bet you can. Who has the pink hair? Feminist, okay? What you will notice is that all of the feminists are white, while the anti-feminists are mostly black. Very interesting. Nevertheless, the portion of the conversation that they are talking about right now is, do women today have more privileges than men? The answer is obviously yes, but we'll listen to the feminists play the victim Olympics while the anti-feminists try to coax them out of the victimhood that they firmly placed themselves in. This one gonna get heated, so go grab your popcorn, buckle up your seatbelt, and let's get active. Without further ado.
I don't think the feminist movement supports women at all. I think it actually harms them. It's told us that sexual exploitation is empowering and that we should kill our offspring if it's an inconvenience to our life, and that marriage and family are not important anymore. I mean, it's completely destroyed everything that's been unique about womanhood.
So the alternative is like, let me get my ass beat, take my Xanax, and raise these kids when I don't want to. Like, what's the alternative for women who aren't happy at home? Like, that's what I don't understand.
Women are pill popping more now than they were in the 50s. They're more depressed than they were. Yes, this is completely.
And men are women, yes, 2 times more likely to be on antidepressants than men. Men are 4 times more likely to kill
Why
themselves.
do you think that we're more likely to be on antidepressants?
Capitalism, the way the world is, the economy. I'll tell you right now, the economy controls the mood of a country. The mood of the country sucks because the economy. Capitalism is the actual enemy here, not feminism. Feminism was just a human rights movement like the civil rights movement. Black people should have equal rights. What's the difference between a woman and a black person?
What?
It's just a matter
Wait a minute,
of...
I'm sorry. We gotta just pause just based off of what was just said. Now, shout out to Maggie, the substitute teacher, the lovely young lady that's over here on the right. Absolutely a inductee into the MTandR Hall of Fame. I actually met Maggie in person. She cooked me a delectable meal. Nevertheless, the look on her face is somewhere in the realm of shock, awe, and I can't believe that she just said that, right? Yeah, so, but shout out to Maggie. She's lovely. She's probably thinking of a nice, modest, and feminine way to try to explain this in a better fashion. But pay attention what happens right after this. Let's replay it again and then let's go.
Actual enemy here, not feminism. Feminism was just a human rights movement like the civil rights movement. Black people should have equal rights. What's the difference between a woman and a black person?
Look at the responses.
It's just a matter of, no, you want equal rights as a human because you should have them.
Okay.
I should have them too, right? It was just a human rights movement. It was
Okay.
focused on the gender, and then we focused on the race, and we all came up. I don't know why everyone can't come up together.
Yeah, I feel like there's a huge misnomer on what feminism is. Feminism is not me telling you to go your firstborn son. I don't care what you do with your body. Feminism is you have the opportunity to do what you want because of, you have a bank card because of feminism, you get to wear pants because of feminism, you get to have a job because of feminism, you get to get out of the house if you want to because of feminism. This is not about like trying to control your life. There is more room for people who are anti-feminists in the world of feminists than there is for people like me in your world. I don't care if a person wants to go have children their whole life and that's what they want to do. Most of my friends are stay-at-home moms. Many of my extremely liberal friends are stay-at-home mothers. And do you think I denigrate their decision to sacrifice their life for their children? Absolutely not. I'm a mother myself. But I also want to have the opportunity to work if I want to, because for me, that's where I find happiness. There is space for you in our movement, but there is no space for us in yours. We're inclusive. Feminism is not telling you what to do with your life.
Yeah, you
Feminism
can have
is
a baby,
letting
you can get married, do
what
whatever
you
you
want
want
with your life.
Sorry. I agree, though. I agree. Do whatever you want with your life.
Feminism is letting you do what you want with your life. And I don't want to tell you not to get married when you're 19 and pop out 7 kids if that's a thing that's going to be happy for you. But I want to offer people the opportunity that they can also do something else if that's what makes them happy.
Okay.
So
All right. So the young ladies on the right are about to respond not to the woman who was just speaking, trying to pick up the pieces, but to the Super Saiyan Rose over here. And before I give you guys my thoughts on what she just said, quick emergency meeting. I was recently searching for my name online and found way too much personal information, which brought me down this weird rabbit hole of how that could have happened, and found out that there's companies out there called data brokers that will sell your data to marketers, scammers, and even stalkers. And it's a nasty, disgusting feeling knowing that there's bad actors out there selling my information, selling your information for profit. But that's why I'm recommending today's sponsor, Aura. Now, I use Aura to automatically remove my information from these sites and keep my information off. But they do other things as well, such as bank fraud and identity theft alerts, VPN access. But guys, utilize my link down in the description box down below for a 14-day trial. At least see if you've been compromised. Privacy is king in this day and age, and you should know if your information is out there. So again, utilize my link, aura.com/MTR, in the description box down below to try 2 weeks free. That's way more than enough time to see if your personal data has been exposed. Go now. Let's address what she said before that, which is when brought up to the idea that, you know, women today are on more prescription medication, you could tell the mindset of somebody who is not trying to find at least a middle ground and solve for some of these issues when it becomes like a comparison to who they view as their opposite, right? Women take more prescription drugs. Well, men are self-deleting at 4 times the, well, what does that have to do with women taking, right? They never want to focus on the issues that you bring up in relation to the identity that they claim. They just always want to compare and contrast. And that's one of the issues with modern day feminism is that they refuse to look at them as part of the equation for their own downfall. But nevertheless, the young ladies are going to take umbrage to this comparison of black people to white women. Now, what the feminist is attempting to do is to say, well, everybody should be able to fight for human rights. But let's listen to how they respond.
I did get a sense that someone on this side felt like this side was feeling or was speaking in a way that felt racist. Can you speak to that? Yeah.
So when you said something about the difference between women and black people.
As far as human rights.
Can I speak, or are you going to keep cutting me off?
Yeah, go for it.
Right, thank you. That's like one of my main issues with feminism is like even Susan B. Anthony, like she compared white women to the black man, and she felt a way that black men got the right to vote before white women. And that's like also something that I don't agree with, because white women think they're superior to black men, you know? Why do you need the right to vote before our men? That's the question I would ask.
I'm saying everyone should have it at the same time.
But why do you have to
about when it happened? I'm saying everyone is a human.
It was just, you just
matter your
throw it,
race or your gender.
This is the thing.
I feel like you should be able to live your life the way you want. That's the feminist movement.
But why did you have to
choice
bring
now.
up black people? That's what I'm trying
Because
to say.
it's a human
because
rights
you're performative.
movement. I'm comparing.
Because you're performative, babe.
Okay,
You're
I'm
performative.
comparing
beautiful.
human rights movements. Black people exist.
Yeah.
Women exist.
You don't have to
I
speak
think
on it.
both of them
Don't speak on it.
Why? It's a human rights movement. That's what we're
It's
talking
not
about.
productive. I'm telling you, I don't like
It's not productive to talk
it.
about human rights movement and compare the two when they're just about equalizing things for people so we can all come up together.
I'm letting you know that it's offensive. I'm telling you that it's offensive.
It's offensive for me to say that women should have the same rights as black people.
Yep, it is.
It's offensive for me to say that all humans should have the same rights as everyone. That we should
That's
all
not
have the
what
same
you
rights.
said. There's a difference between everyone
Literally
and black
right
people.
now I'm saying everyone, I don't give sorry what your skin color is, what's between your legs. I don't care about any of that.
Yeah.
I want everyone to be able to make the decisions they want for themselves and have the same rights. I don't want you to have any less rights than me. I don't want this guy to have any less rights than me or more. Everyone should be even.
Okay.
That's fucked up for me to say.
Okay,
Could I
good.
just ask,
I'm just curious what's racist about the statement that I want
This is beautiful.
women to have the same rights as black people. I'm just, because you said that's racist. I'm just curious what's
Well,
racist
because
about
first of all, you guys classify women as second sex, right? You guys think women, this comes from the feminist movement. We look at women and we say, oh, we're treated as second-class citizens, we're treated less than men.
Yeah.
And so it's a little bit dehumanizing to say, for one, you want to fight for women to have better rights, and then to look at black people, which isn't just black women, that's black men, our men, that we need to be, we expect our men to be strong, and for you to say, oh, well, women deserve the same rights, black people should get the same rights as women, there's this culture in black culture where our men are constantly emasculated, right? So I'm very, very my husband's a black man, so I'm very intentional about how we speak about our black men, and I don't like that.
I wasn't talking about just black men.
But you need to be mindful, okay? Since you're a liberal and that's what y'all are about, you need to be mindful.
I
and
didn't
that's
say
it.
anything racist.
Okay.
I didn't say anything like that at all. You
All
really
right.
misconstrue. Now you
not
are
a
getting my twisted.
Uh-oh.
Did she answer your question about what
that. I
offended
don't
her?
know, feel like and I'm not trying to be.
I know you're trying to actually understand
I genuinely
which
understand.
part of the conversation offended her, and I
You
think
didn't, it wasn't you. She said something.
No, I understand it wasn't me. I'm trying to understand, you said the statement, I want women to have the same rights as black people. I'm trying to understand what's racist about that.
I think
Because you wouldn't say that about a white man. When
it's the men part, I think, that got
Right.
added to.
You don't have to say women and black people and then not speak on what about the black men? You know what I mean? I don't understand why you do that. Can someone speak to this? Am I crazy?
Did anyone else, did any other ladies on the side
Let's-
feel that same way about
Okay.
that statement?
I think she's just kind of referring to women should have the same rights as everybody. Why do you
Yeah.
have to single out black people or black men?
The reason I see
Black men
not
have
men.
the same rights
First off,
as
I didn't
everybody
say
right
men.
now,
The
and
reason,
women have the same rights as everyone. We're equal right now. So how far do feminism have to go before you guys see that we're equal?
but you
Okay,
want.
let's logically pick apart what just happened right there. The facilitator said, let me pause because it seems like folks on this side of the table thought that something was racist. The camera then cut over to this young lady who was speaking. So the assumption is from that question to the cutaway is that this woman assumes that what she said was racist. Let's get it off of the table. I can't stand when people overly throw out the "you are racist" term. What she said is not racist. Short-sighted? Yeah, perhaps. Definitely. But racist? No. And I think that the overcommitting to throwing out "you are a racist" term for people that are not saying things racist sullies the impact of what the term actually means, all right? Saying out loud, what is the difference between black people and white women? That's not racist. I think logically, if she's in the position of, hey, we're all second-class citizens and we're all trying to fight for equal rights, I get the foundation of her question because they all view the fight for rights was started at the same place. And whether or not you are a woman, a feminist, or you're LGBTQ, right? The comparison from slaves that were owned to what y'all went through, right? What your ancestors went through. It's not even the same type of comparison. No way, no how. And that's what I believe the young lady was trying to articulate. But because she got into her feelings, because she feels as though that this is a racist statement, she was unable to articulate the difference in starting point of fighting for equal rights or even the atrocities administered to that group or that sect of people. This is why I can't stand these conversations where the basis is victimhood. From her view and her defense of fighting for some type of right that she feels as though she is owed and sharing a ideology within a political party where everybody is fighting for this right to be seen and or heard and rights that they claim that they don't currently have. She made a comparison to a race, but that comparison triggered most of the women that shared this side of the panel. But no, it's not racist. Now, does her comparison attempt to knowingly or unknowingly degrade the history of black people's ancestors in America? I think that it does. But I also think that it's not worth it to dwell in it to the extent of it getting an emotional rise out of you, right? I don't give a shit what she thinks and nor what she's saying, nor do I think that she is worth it for me to correct her. allow her to believe whatever it is that she wants to believe, as she continues to cry out how much of a victim that she is.
I'm the victim! Remember? I'm the victim!
I understand my history. I respect my history, yet I don't dwell in my history. I avoid the pity back and forth victim shit, and I excel with the 2 arms and the 2 legs that God gave me. That's why I would look at someone like her saying that and just be like, oh, okay, just go the other way, baby. I got work to do. But the context here is debate, so I get the back and forth, but you can't let someone saying that knock you off your center to the degree of incorrectly labeling someone a racist because of it.
I'm not talking about you guys, because I don't know where you stand as far as anti-feminism, but there are people that are actively working to take our rights away so that we are backsliding into time. That's why I'm here.
As far as like what, abortion?
That's
Repealing the 19th.
getting rid of the women's right to vote.
The 19th is never going to be repealed. I think people are trolling.
Never say never. But she's right. I meant everyone should have the same rights. And I only brought up Black people because of the civil rights movement happening around the same time. These were human rights movements. We all tried to come up together, which I love, and I think we all should have the same rights. I don't think that's a...
Yeah, I don't think you had ill intent. I don't think you had ill intent. I'm just like, we need to be careful about how we speak when we're bringing in Black people, because we're always constantly attaching every civil rights kind of movement to Black identity. Like, we're always the LGBT, everything. It's always connected to Black people. And so I'm just like, no. That's what I'm saying is no.
I think it's tactical, right? To be able to utilize someone else's obviously more difficult struggle, right? And an attempt to try to compare it, right? To say, well, we were all trying to do the same thing, right? We all were coming up together, right? Like, it's worthy of checking it in order for you to understand the differences in betwixt. But again, as a man, and I don't think any man should be dwelling in it, you focus on future forward and accomplishing while giving respect backwards to ancestors, but you accomplish on the forward motion. The only people that it makes sense to focus on this shit is like race hustlers that make a living off of heightening your sense of victimhood in order to get you to rally around their points, positions, their products, their services, right? It's easy to lay within victimhood and acclaim a part of something as opposed to learning tacit skills, knowledge, and tool sets in order to make something out of your life that no one thought possible.
That you were trying to be like evil about it, but I'm just saying be careful, because y'all have a tendency to always group Black people into every single thing, and it's just not always the time to speak on it.
I have noticed that feminists, and myself included in this, tend to get uncomfortable with conversations about race. We don't know how to talk about race very well. And even just this whole debacle that just happened was just kind of like affirming of that, of like, we need to get better at it, because...
Thank you. That's what I'm saying. Like, just don't bring it up.
All right, now back on the topic of feminists. And listen, I also think that there's a correlation with not really wanting to understand your history, as a white woman in comparison to how you think that you can compare the two struggles together. I think that the majority of these people, they place themselves at a disadvantage within a society, and it's not based off of reality, right? It's off of delusion, or they use certain portions of arguments in order to drive their hate for men forward. There is no real push or arguments around repealing the right to vote from women, but you will bring this dumb shit up within talking points as if it's a real thing that's about to happen. And I just wish that you could drop these women in real patriarchal regimes just so you can watch them experience what it means to actually not have rights. You live in one of the freest countries known to mankind. You've had no obstacles. In fact, you've had pushes to help you earn an income. You've had no obstacles into coloring your hair, to overeating, to get to that degree of body fat percentage, to putting those wild tattoos all over your arms, to putting in that nose ring, or even your selection of that stupid hoop earring that you put into your ear. You had nobody impede you to purchase the car, to drive you to the studio. And in fact, you've had male invention after male invention to allow all of these comfy things in society that you currently enjoy, all the way down to the technology that was created so that we can see you on the internet via the cameras and the Wi-Fi right now. It is wild to me that their misunderstanding of like the history of struggle, like what it really meant to struggle, gets them so off base, right? Which is why so many women are now anti-feminist now than ever before, because it's realized that it's not doing them of any good. It's bringing them farther and farther away from men, because it's driving a hate and a disdain for men. Whereas the average ordinary man today is saying, no, I love and adore women. I go out my way to honor and protect women. So I don't understand the hate that they have for me. They don't know me, but at a general level, when I'm not doing anything to impede their progress. When they talk about this patriarchy and oppression, they just either lie or they're just so baked into their delusion that they just fail to see the reality. Men have built the system where you are way more privileged than ever before, way more safer than ever before, than most of human history that has ever existed before us. But somehow still that is framed as oppression. Well, anyway, I thought it was interesting to see the clash of this feminist ideology when the topic is brought up in relation to race, when it is a white woman that is communicating to black women in an effort to demonstrate everyone trying to get human rights together. It's like, no, we can all complain. We can all be victims. We can always hearken to the past, but don't you dare compare us. Like, that's the line. Like, don't you dare, don't step over that line or there will be problems. And we saw that happening played out in real time. But listen, the lesson here, right? Like, and you know, I always talk about on the channel that the men should never wear victim as like some type of trophy on a shelf, right? Like, don't ever do that. Leave the women to focus on that. And don't you dare let these things pollute your mind enough to become triggered to label somebody when that's not what they're actually doing, right? Be accurate in your labeling if you want to label somebody, or it just dilutes your overall point. But yeah, stop arguing with all of the narratives and focus on yourself, where you can move strategically in order to protect your time, your energy, your labor, and inevitably the legacy that you are currently building, and avoid these feminist man-haters like the damn plague. Look at them, laugh at them in your head, go the other way, and do the damn thing. Practice restraint, order, and responsibility by any means necessary. But all right, guys, let me know what you think about the content. Do you agree with the points and the positions that I made? Do you disagree with the points and positions? Let me know down up in the comment box down below. I appreciate you guys for rocking with me. There was a lot more race topics involved in this than what I'm generally comfortable with doing. But nevertheless, let me know what you guys think down up in the comment box down below. And I will see you very, very, very soon. Oh, and shout out to today's sponsor, Aura. All right, guys, get your private information off of these public websites. Aura is who I trust to do it for me. Link to it down in the description box down below. At least see if your private information has been exposed on these shady websites. Go do it right now. Until next time, peace.
So, without further ado, MTR, cut through the BS like we in charge. No cap with the rappers like steel bars. I'm packing and rapping like here we are. Mediocre tutorial reviews. Like, comment, share my views. Come up and I paid my dues. Big step in my black way shoes. MTR, he break it down, yeah, it's MTR. Check out the sound with his MTR. No one put it down like it's MTR.